Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. I'm with Oculus Rift Reviews. Today we're going to review and play Dark Legion VR, a game on the Steam store for the Valve Index, HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and Windows Mixed Reality. Dark Legion VR normally retails for $19.99. I know it goes on sale, but I haven't looked up how low it goes on sale. I know I bought this in 2017 on sale for $11.99. I do recommend this game. I really liked it a lot, but beware, this game has lots of issues, and all those issues are the reason why I'm only going to give a tepid recommendation. I'm going to give a 6 out of 10. I had fun. This is old school arcade shoot 'em up first person fun. And yeah, this game is fun. It starts off crazy. You have like this scantily clad female assistant, guiding you around. And then you have this little robot that follows you around after that. And first you enter this alien world, which looks really cool. And then you go to this other subterranean area, which is kind of nice. And then you get into these corridors, these halls, and that's the video what you're seeing. You're not seeing the first part of the game. You're seeing the latter part of the game, and this is where the game did drag on for me, because it's pretty unimaginative compared to what was earlier. It's just a little too repetitive towards the end. You're basically fighting the same type of enemies. Now, there were some change-ups there. There are some mini boss fights, and as well as these little wizards that pop up, but for the most part it was a lot of humanoid enemies that you're fighting, and they all pretty much fight the same. Now, there are some differences. Some of them are snipers. Towards the very end, some of them have shields, but a lot of it is just pretty standard combat. It never really changes. The AI for this game is not the best, but I love this game. Keep in mind, there is full locomotion and there is snap turning. Unfortunately, there's no way to turn off the comfort option for the turning, so if you see that little circle around, that dark circle around the video on the desktop, that's when I'm turning, and that's like a little vignette, a little comfort option that you can't turn off. Teleport is the default locomotion, but you can, in the settings, change it to full locomotion. I recommend that you do that. It makes the game, in my opinion, a lot easier. There's a couple of different types of guns, including, the assault rifle, the sniper rifle, the handgun, the bow and arrow, the rocket launcher, the grenades. So there is quite a bit of variety in the weapons, and don't forget the TNT, obviously. And they're all pretty fun to use. I never really got the chance to use the rocket launcher that much, and I kind of regret that I just didn't go ahead and try to kill as many with the rocket launcher. I thought I was saving it for the end, thinking it was necessary, but it's not. So there's no reason to save the rocket launcher for the end. As far as combat, it's pretty standard. The AI is not the best. It's basically a shooter, a very basic arcade shooter. You can get behind cover if you want. Some enemies do get behind cover. Now, this thing has a very strange mechanic. If enemies get behind cover and you're in a frontal cone, you can't damage them. It doesn't matter how precise you are. And I learned that the hard way, thinking, okay, I can pick them off even behind cover because I see some slivers where I can still shoot them. No, you're not going to get hits. It doesn't let you. The only way you can get an enemy behind cover is either to wait for them to get out of cover, or to completely flank them, get behind them. The bow and arrow is actually pretty fun to use. I might have aim assist because it seemed a little too easy to use, but it's not too bad. I mean, you still have to hit within the general area, even with the bow and arrow. There's not much else besides shooting. There's the only puzzle element is having to find all the passwords to open all the doors. Other than that, it's just pushing levers to open all the other doors. And usually the passwords are really close by wherever the locked door is. So it's usually not much of a hassle trying to find those passwords. As far as the issues that I mentioned, there's a bunch. I don't think I can name them all, but here's a few of the big ones. Whenever you finish a level, this is probably the biggest one, by the way. Whenever you finish a level, the game will crash. So, yeah, that's a pretty big one. That's almost game breaking, but not quite. So what happens is after you beat a level, it'll load and then it'll crash. So all you have to do is restart the game, and when you restart the game and you load back, you're gonna load back to the new level that was loading before it crashed. So it's not that big of a bug. It's a little game breaking, almost game breaking, but not quite, because like I said, all you have to do is get back into the game and you'll be back to where you left off. So it's more annoying than anything else. Like I mentioned before, the whole thing about the cover system, I consider that a bug, because you can use a sniper rifle. It doesn't matter that you hit them. If they're behind cover, you can't get them within a frontal cone. Some other issues, I had an invisible enemy on the second level that was killing me. And that was a bug, because the way I was able to kill that enemy is I quit the game and I restarted. And when I restarted, the enemy was no longer invisible, so I was really easily able to shoot it. And just by the way, before it became invisible, I shot everywhere. I was just shooting madly all 360 around me, and it just wouldn't die. So it's a bug. I don't think it's something intentional. I don't think that enemy's supposed to go invisible. Other issues is you'll fall to your death and it'll just hang there. You don't actually die. You'll still have health and everything, but you just can't move. So you're kind of just stuck. So you have to restart the level, restart the game. Other errors. Geez, there were so many. I'm already forgetting what they were. As far as pathing issues, I didn't notice any pathing issues. I didn't notice any clipping either. I'm trying to think. Did I notice any clipping? I don't think so. Overall, though, it is fun, and I like the imagination in this game. But beware, it has lots of little bugs all around. One thing I didn't like was the grab mechanic. You kind of have like magnet hands. The inventory system is kind of clunky. Oh, the tutorial is bugged. So if you're an achievement hunter, your tutorial is bugged. It says something about getting a shotgun. Well, there is no shotgun. And it says to blow up the wall, and you blow up the wall, but you don't get the tutorial finish for that. It doesn't really end up mattering, because you don't have to finish the tutorial to start the game, but it does suck that you're given this checklist of stuff to do for the tutorial, but there's 2 items that you cannot complete. I enjoyed the boss fights, but one of them was just a repeat. So I believe there's 3 boss fights, but one of the boss fights is just a repeat of the prior one. And I didn't find the boss fights too challenging. In fact, I didn't find any of the game too challenging. But it was fun. I finished the whole game in about 2.5 hours. And for $11.99, I think I got a good deal for my money. Just because, I had a lot of fun. I guess you can't put a price on that, but 2.5 hours, I had fun. I do recommend it, but I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It just has too many issues. I'm Fast Lawyer. Thank you for watching. Good night.